Today, what I want to do today is, this is our second Gravely project here. It has a blown tire on it. And here's my plan with this. What I want to do is, I'm going to take the inner tires off the 73 C8 and use those, and then I'll put these tires with the chains inboard, and I'll put the spacer back on, and it'll be done for now. This way it's on wheels and it could roll around. We could drive it around in and out and whatever we have to do. This is the problem I'm up against here. I'm standing right now at the edge here of the storage. Gravely, and a whole bunch of other crap that I got to get rid of. It's all stuff I used to sell at the flea market, and I have to go through it and see what's good. That whole shelf in the back, all full of junk. There is some Gravely parts on the shelf back there, and I do have a lawnmower back there in the corner, which you probably can't see. Yeah, big problem here with room, you know. I mean, I like to keep every single Gravely I fix up. You know, some people commented, oh, it's a keeper, keep it. I'd love to keep it, especially as well as the last Gravely we did. Runs really good. So now I have this problem here, too. This is the side of the storage here. There's stuff under covers here. I don't even know what it is anymore. Well, we know we have the Gravely trailer here, which that's an undone project. I was supposed to paint that and everything. I never got to do it. We did something with the tires on it. The tarps are ripped. They're cheap Harbor Freight tarps. I mean, they don't last very long. Here, I'm going to take everything off the trailer here. I'm going to situate that second Gravely we're going to work on. I'm going to situate that to where we can change the tires that I take off the 73. And these tires that I take off, this one here, the second project, it came with brand new tires from when I bought the two tractors and the attachments. So I'll have to get a couple of brand new tubes for it, and I'll probably make a video on doing the tires on the tractor there. Yeah, so these two tires will end up back, the new tires will end up back on the 73, which I'm definitely keeping that one. And I think I'm going to put, it came with 3 snow plows and the 2 brush hogs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the brush hog on the second project here so we can jack it up, because there's no way to jack this up without an attachment on it. I have to situate everything around here a little bit. And the 2 lawnmowers here, the Husqvarna and the Toro. Man, everything's loose on this one too. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get them running and ready to sell. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull the wheels off the 73, and then I'll come back to you when we're gonna take the wheels off of this one here. Okay, so I threw the tires on here. It's no big deal. Alright, so when we made the change, I did do a video on doing these dual wheels, changing them out. I think I only showed you on the one side how to do it. So anyway, I stuck these tires back on with the spacers. So like I said, when we get the brand new tires, I'm going to break them down from the rims, and I'm going to paint the rims and everything. And I have to get, like I said, I have to get tubes. And I'll make a video on putting it back together as far as that goes. Now, I'm just jumping around like crazy today. I don't know what it is. I took everything off the trailer like I said I was going to before. And the 2 tractors came with 2 brush hogs here. So one of them was missing a blade. The one that was missing the blade was this one. But all the guards and everything were on this one. So I changed the blade over and put it on this deck. And I put it on the 57 tractor here. And I'll probably make a video. We're going to service this. I want to make sure. I want to see if it has fluid in it. If it does, that'll be cool. I didn't see any evidence of leaking on the bottom, but I don't know. These things, everything was tossed upside down and all around here. And then we'll just grease it up. It only has one fitting here. So we'll grease that up. And I'll change the fluid. It takes 90 weight gear lube. Alright, getting back to our second project here. We're missing stuff. We're missing the gas tank, which I already knew that. So I took the gas tank from the 54 and sitting in a work truck there. Ready to put on. It's missing a carburetor here. But the guy gave me the carburetor and he said he rebuilt that one. So I have to decide what carburetor I'm going to use. I don't know if this thing will run or what, or how bad it is, or how good it is, or what. So it's missing that. It's missing the throttle rod. If you saw my video of when I modified the throttle rod guide on that 57 there, this one has it. But I do have a rod, and I do have the other, well, we can use this lever. This handlebar is bent really bad. It's bent down. I get a lot of these like this. Bent handlebars. I don't know what they do, how this happens, but it happens. I do have other handlebars. I don't know if I could try to straighten this one out. I don't know. Another big thing missing here. It's the PTO. The whole PTO assembly. The shipper shaft is missing. The levers, everything's missing here. I don't know if I even have anything off the 54. I don't know what, but I do have some that are messed up. I at least want to cover this hole here. The gear is on there. The door gear is on because I took the plow mount off to check and see. So the door gear is on there. It's missing the trunnion block. This whole shipper shaft, the shaft. That's what I see missing here so far. The positive cables here, which is cool. That's what I'm gonna have to get. Still have to go get cables. I still didn't get them. Every video I do, I tell you I didn't go get the cables yet for the 57 here. What else was missing? Oh yeah, no spark plug in it. I do have a spark plug for it. I put that aside when we were doing the 54. No, the 57. Look at the size of this plug. I think it's a good plug. I think it'll work. So what I'm going to have to do is gather all the parts together. And we'll start on it in this video here. What else? I don't see anything else missing. But I'll come across something messed up. Yeah, this has a generator on it, right? Now, I don't know if, like the 6-volt battery that I think you're supposed to use on these, if I put a 12-volt battery on it, will it harm this? I don't even know if it works. I have no idea if this even works. But, one of you Gravely guys, please let me know what's the story with these. It's missing the front cover here. I don't know if it works. The regulator's mounted on top here. I want to see how this thing runs, if it runs. I'll make sure it has oil in it and stuff. And I'll get back to you after I get all the parts together, and we'll start putting this thing together to see if we can get it running. I know the points are probably dirty right off the bat. So I have the magneto I took off the 54. I'll do a video on taking the cover off and removing the points and cleaning them and everything. I always like to remove the points and clean them real good and re-gap them. So I know we have to do that. The only thing left, I got to see what we got for a carburetor. If I want to use that one he said he rebuilt, or I have another one off to the side here. I don't know yet. So I'll get back to you on all this. Okay, so let's get going with this already. Okay, so this tractor here, the second project, came without a spark plug in it. I know some debris probably had to fall into the cylinder, but I just stuck a spark plug in here for now. But what we're gonna do is we're just gonna give this a quick blow off. I want to see if I can suck some stuff out of the cylinder with the vacuum cleaner, but I don't know how well that's gonna work. So. Okay, so I'll pop the spark plug out now, and I'll try to see if there's any debris in there, in the cylinder. We'll try to suck it out with the vacuum cleaner here. Stick my pinky in there somewhat. I don't know where we stand here. Not really sure, but let's see how far down the piston is. I think it is pretty far down. Not that far. Alright, so I'm going to spray some WD in there, and I'm probably going to add some two-stroke mix in there too. Another problem we have is the starter chain is way too tight, so we're going to adjust that. The positive cable, it came with the positive cable, so I just ran it out here for now. I disconnected this wire that goes to the regulator for the generator. We're not concerned about that right now. So, and I do have a ground wire that I found in the back, and I think this was from the 54 original Gravely we stole all the parts from. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that up too. I'll get the camera set up better, but for now we're going to just spray some WD-40 in the cylinder here. I do have enough WD, but I'm starting to run out of some chemicals. I can only buy a can at a time now with everything so expensive. I used to like to keep like 3 cans of WD-40, and I used to like to keep 3 or 4 cans of brake clean, but I would just let that settle in there a while. And I'll set the camera up and we'll address this starter chain that's too tight. And I'll hook up the ground cable to. So I'll be back to you shortly. Okay, so you see how tight this chain is here? Way too tight here. I don't know why somebody tightened it up that much, but till we get to this bolt here. That seems to be alright right there. It's not bad. We'll tighten it up here. Let me just make sure you can still see what I'm doing here. Yeah. Okay, so we can tighten up the starter. And maybe I'll hook up the negative cable to one of these, to this one here. I'll undo the bolt. That's tight. Yeah, it went too tight again. Oh boy. I wonder if the guy was having a problem with us here. I don't know, let's try that. It's just a little difficult because we have this generator bracket here. I tightened up this bottom one first, the slider here. That seems to be alright. If anything, now it's too loose, but I'd rather it too loose than too tight. Should be alright. Okay. That's good. I'm pretty much okay with that. Alright, what size? Okay, so this is a 1/2 inch nut and bolt here. So I'm going to have to undo this and then we'll throw the cable on. And then we'll spin the engine over a little bit. I think I'm just going to bring you around here a little bit right now. Tripod's not locked. Sorry about that again. I tried to be careful with that, but yeah, you should be able to see what's going on there. All I'm doing is just putting the negative cable on. We'll be using here. So I got the wrench. I got the socket. As I said before, the carburetor's missing. I'm going to do a lot of it off camera because on the last build that we did, You already seen on a few machines the carburetor deal. How about if we go the right way with it? I'll just put the cable on the side where I take the nut off here. Next thing we're going to do is, I misspoke in the beginning of the video. I have the magneto that we took off the previous project, and I know that has no spark. So the next thing we're going to do is work on the magneto. Probably has dirty points as usual, so we'll address that real quick. I'll do the best I can. Some of you know how my eyes are, but I think I'll be able to take it apart. And I just want to show you real quick how the magneto works. And I'll take the points out completely, and I'll clean them, and then we'll put them back in and re-gap them. So I didn't do anything yet. Hopefully we don't have a seizure. Hopefully we can turn that crankshaft without any problems. Oh yeah. Not bad. Just give it a couple of spins and let that WD-40. Oh, I heard the magneto clicked. I wonder if this thing has spark. The generator's turning fine, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, magneto is clicking. There might be a slight chance that this thing has spark. I don't know. I think, alright, so off camera, I'm going to throw the carburetor on this. And just for the heck of it, I'll hook up the battery and we'll give it some cranks. Maybe, yeah, I'll do that. I don't want to try to do anything without the carburetor on it. So I'll go ahead and do that off camera. How many times could you watch that, you know? So, alright, so I'll be back soon. Okay, so I used the carburetor that came with the tractor that he said he rebuilt. And, okay, so I got the carburetor on there. I don't know if you saw the video on the 61 Postal Gravely. I put that back to original fuel supply with the metal line and the sediment bowl and everything. So I saved what I took off that tractor, and then we're going to be using that fuel supply on this tractor here. The only thing I had to do is, before I put the carburetor on, I put the metal piece of fuel line on, here, and because this has a rubber hose and a filter, it has. So I put that on. I set the idle jet to, I screwed it in and backed it out 1.5. That was off. I think that's what it's supposed to be. I'm not really sure. And the high speed jet, I turned that all the way in and I turned it out 1.5. But the thing is, with this, we don't have a fuel supply because I got to put the gas tank on it, which I have. We have to still do that. But with what I put into the spark plug hole here, the two-stroke, I want to see if it fires. And I forgot to put the spark plug in. Be right back. Okay, so I got the spark plug back in. I checked the oil. The oil's full, but I didn't check to see if there was any water in the crankcase on this one. I hooked up the battery. There was no sparks or smoke or anything like that. So I'm going to give it some cranks. We'll see if the starter switch works and see if it'll fire up some. And we have nothing here. You try to jump it with the screwdriver, maybe. Move this battery over a little. We have absolutely nothing here. All right. I know I took the good battery. We have one battery that's dead. I have to replace. So we have absolutely nothing here. So I'm going to check this out. I did do a video on how to check the electrical system on this, and it's really easy to do, but I'll save you that grief, and I'll just be back to you as soon as I figure this out. Okay, so it had a bad positive battery terminal, and no matter what I did with it, it didn't work, but I had a brand new battery cable end that I threw on there, and I just hit the starter real quick. I didn't crank it over at all, really. I just wanted to make sure the starter works. So let's just see for the heck of it what it does here. I know I put too much. I always put too much. I put too much two-stroke mix in the cylinder. That I know. Sounds like it has compression, so that's great. That's a really good sign right there. And I doubt very much it has spark. They never do. You know, I don't think I flooded I don't think I flooded it. I think we'll work on the. I think we'll work on the magneto and take the points out and clean them up and everything. And then off camera, you've seen that a dozen times already probably. I'll throw the magneto on. I didn't check the timing. I didn't do that. That's usually the first thing I do. But I didn't. But I don't know. Let's try one more time. I know I'm just wasting the starter, the battery. Yeah. 99% of the time when I get these, has no spark. So, alright, let me get set up for that, and I'll get back to you. Okay, so I went ahead and cleaned up the magneto real good early today. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this cover off. This would be like the distributor cap in your car. Your ignition wire would go in here, and then we'll take this cover off, and that's what houses the points, the coil, and the condenser. So we'll begin by doing that first. And then I'll kind of show you how the magneto works. These screws weren't even that tight in here. Hopefully I didn't get any water in here because I rinsed it off with water after I degreased it. Sometimes you could be fooled by a stuck exhaust valve, but it didn't sound like that to me. It sounded like it had compression. So I'm leaning towards the points being dirty, as usual. Well, I don't want that screw to come all the way up, but it did. Doesn't matter though. And hopefully the gasket's okay in here, and it is, so that's a good sign right there. Okay, so first you have the magnetic pulse. That's a little hard to turn all the way. If you don't have that and this just keeps spinning, then you have a problem in here. A good channel to check out is RW3 Dog. He has a lot of really good Gravely content, and he just ran into this problem with one of his Waco magnetos, and he has a 2-part video on how he fixed it. But like I said, I never ran into that problem, but it's good to know. I saved his 2 videos to make sure that if I ever have that problem, to do what he did. I'll leave a link to part 1 in his channel. Check him out. He has really good Gravely content. Check him out. And yeah, I'll put part 1. I'll pin it in the comments, and you can see how we fixed that part. Okay, so we know that works, right? Okay, so when this clicks, it powers the coil here, and your points are like an on and off switch. When the points are closed, no spark. When the points are open, then you get a spark. Okay, so let's just say it was a constant spark all the time, your engine wouldn't run. So what you have on this shaft here is one lobe, because it's a 1-cylinder. Okay, so the lobe will open the points when this mark here gets to the straight mark on the magneto. That's when the points open. That's when the ignition fires. Okay, Also, you have a condenser. And what the condenser does, here is the condenser. What the condenser does is controls the voltage to the points. Without a condenser, you'd burn up the points immediately. Years ago, when I was an auto tech, this is when cars had points, and that's how old I am. Every once in a while, and I remember it being on Fords, the condenser would go bad, and the car would either not run or run like misfiring, and all kinds of stuff. We did have the same problem with the last magneto that I used, because I had that magneto on the 73 C8, and it was popping and running really messed up. So when we prepared the magneto for the 1957, the last project we did, I changed out the condenser and the problem went away. So I'm going to get set up again here. Alright, you have this one screw here. Alright, there's a wire that comes down from the coil. Then you have a wire that comes from the kill. The kill is over here. This grounds out the magneto so you can shut the engine off. And then you have the condenser wire also. And this is like a band here that comes off the second part of the points. And that has to get hooked up here too with one screw. And then you have a screw down here that you have to take out to get the other half of the points out, and that's the part that really gets dirty. And when you put it together, you just snug this up a little bit, and you can stick a screwdriver down in a notch to adjust the points. You would just snug up the screw a little bit, then you could adjust the points. I'll probably get as far as taking it apart. Over here, this is going to be the hard part for me. There's a clip, a washer, I think. I don't know, there's two washers in here. I forget exactly how they go. There's a clip, the washer. You got to watch you don't lose this clip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this apart. I'll show you the points 30. And then I'll clean them up real good. And we'll put the points back in. And I'll cap them at 15 thousandths. And what you want to do is, this has the felt in here. So what you want to do is just soak this with oil a little bit. And it keeps the part of the points that are plastic from wearing down too quick. Years ago, they didn't have this felt. We used to just put a really small blob of grease on there, on the shaft here, and it worked out okay. So I'm getting tired holding this thing. It weighs a ton. So let me get it back in the vise, and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so this is where, this is going to be hard to film. This is where you would stick the screwdriver in the notch to adjust the points. And you want to adjust the points when the lobe on the shaft has the points open. That's when you want to do that. Okay, so I'm going to have to remove this clip here, which is really tiny. I know I'm going to have a hard time. And I'm going to have to take out this screw here that houses all the wires. And then I have to take out the two screws that holds part of the points in here. So you know what? I think I'm just going to do that off camera. And I'll show you the points when I take them out. And then I'll show you after I clean them up. Sorry, I can't see good enough. I don't know how long this is going to take me. But I'll be back to you soon. Okay, so the points are pretty dirty. You can see here and here. So I'm going to clean them up. And I'll throw it back together. And then I'll set the points. I'll oil that felt so the cam stays lubricated. I'll put the cover back on. And I'll throw the magneto on the tractor. And we'll see what we get. So I'll be back after we're ready to start it. Try to start it again anyway. Alright, so I get the magneto all set. Oh boy, did that take a while because of that little clip and stuff, and I can't see good. But I adjusted the points. I forgot to show you the points after I cleaned them. No big deal. They're clean. They look clean. So, and I also lubed up that cam. I put some lube on there. And right now, I just want to hear this do something. And if it does do something, on part 2, we'll put the gas tank on it, hook up the fuel line. I still have other things to do. I'm going to do off camera. The shifter shaft, the shipper shaft for the PTO, that's all missing. I found one. I have one, but the only problem is there's a trunnion block, and that's what controls the gear in there to engage and disengage the PTO. I think I might have one in one of the 30 coffee cans I got, all Gravely parts, but I couldn't find that piece. But we're just going to start it up for a couple seconds now, if it will start, and then we'll continue it on part 2. So let's see if we get a little something out of it. I made sure the timing was good. The timing's good. When you take the magneto off, you don't have to mess with that coupler to adjust the timing, but the timing was right on, so I didn't have to mess with that. And we'll see what it does. I want to hear a little something out of it. Like I said, I don't think the exhaust valve stuck or anything like that. It sounded like it had good compression. So I'm procrastinating. I don't even want to try it right now. But let's see what we got. I think I put too much fuel. Yeah, I did. I'm sorry, excuse me. You know me with the 2-stroke. Anytime I go to prime something, I always over prime. But it's doing something, so at least it's doing something. So that's cool. Beautiful. That's what I want to hear. And all that smoke you saw come out of the exhaust there, that's because we used 2-stroke mix to try to fire it up. So we're good. I guess we'll wrap this one up now. Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't know if I had the camera on or not. That would have been a heck of a thing if I didn't turn the camera on the first start here. Okay, so I guess I'll see you all on part 2. Thank you for watching. Yeah, and that's it. Take care.